Coco Gauff's tennis schedule for rest of 2025. How many points is she defending? Coco Gauff endured a difficult North American hardcourt swing, and some have urged her to take an extended break in order to rebuild her service motion ahead of the 2025 season. However, the two-time Grand Slam winner is unlikely to pay attention to noise from the outside as she is determined to learn on the job and is expected to play in the upcoming Asia swing. Following her French Open title run, Gauff was expected to challenge for more big titles, but she lost in the first round at Wimbledon and then kicked off a hardcourt campaign with a third-round exit at the Canadian Open before losing in the quarterfinal of the Cincinnati Open. After her Cincinnati defeat, the 21-year-old took a brave decision to part ways with coach Matt Daly, who guided her to glory at Roland Garros and the 2024 WTA Finals, and brought in biomechanics expert Gavin McMillan with the main aim to fix her serving woes. But changing your service motion is a long-term process, and 2 weeks were never going to be enough time as she continued to struggle during the US Open. It was an emotional roller coaster as Gauff broke down in tears during one of her matches, and it wasn't too big a surprise when her run was ended by Naomi Osaka in the fourth round. There was a lot of advice forthcoming, with former doubles world number one Rennie Stubbs saying on the CYA podcast that Gauff should take a break. Coco's not comfortable. She's fighting demons. She's fighting her serve. She's fighting her forehand. Gavin's come in to try and do his best to kind of correct some of the stuff, but that's impossible to do in a week. It's impossible, Stubbs, who coached Serena Williams during the 2022 US Open, said. The four-time women's Grand Slam doubles champion added, "I think she should take the entire rest of the year. The whole rest of the year, and break every single thing down." But Gauff made it clear after her defeat to Osaka that she has no intention of skipping the remainder of the 2025 season, as she intends to do a training block between now and Beijing, giving her roughly 3 weeks to get more work done. The American is the defending champion at the China Open as she defeated Karolina Muchova in the final 12 months ago. The WTA 1000 event gets underway on September 24th, and Gauff is set to be seeded third with 1,000 points to defend. The Wuhan Open is the next big tournament after the Beijing event, and Gauff is likely to feature in there, as well as she has 390 points to defend after reaching the semifinal in 2024. Popular on Tennis 365. But her calendar is likely to be clear after that, or at least until the WTA Finals, as she didn't feature in any other tournaments on the Asia swing last year. Of course, she could opt to accept late entries into some of the events like the Japan Open, Pan Pacific Open, and Hong Kong Open. Gauff is on the verge of qualifying for the season-ending WTA Finals in Riyadh with Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek, the only two players who have booked their tickets now. Enjoying deep runs in Beijing and Wuhan will also ease some pressure in terms of her position in the rankings for the remainder of the year, as she also has 1,300 points to defend in Saudi Arabia. From what the reports say, these are the major tournaments she has ahead, and the points she's defending, i.e. from what she gained at the same events in the previous year, which will drop off unless she matches or exceeds them. Tournament. What she's defending. China Open, Beijing, WTA 1000. Starts till September 24th. 1,000 points. She is the defending champion, having won it in 2024. Wuhan Open. 390 points. She reached the semifinals in 2024. WTA Finals, Riyadh. 1,300 points. She is the defending champion. US Open. Defending 240 points from her run in 2024. So, in the tournament she is almost certain or likely to play, she's defending at least till 930 points, China Open plus Wuhan plus US Open plus WTA Finals. This is a lot, especially since these are big tournaments with large prize pools and big ranking implications. The stakes behind the numbers. Tennis rankings aren't just math. The points one defends are the weight of expectations, past success, momentum, and risk. Coco's 2025 has been a mix of triumphs and challenges. She won the French Open, her first Grand Slam on clay, so the upward curve is real. But with big wins come big points to protect. If she fails to defend her China title, that's a 1,000 point drop, which could affect her seeding, her draw, and her mental confidence. Wuhan's 390 is smaller but still a significant chunk. The WTA Finals 1,300 points are crucial, because it's among the biggest year-end tournaments. Losing that many points can shift her spot in the year-end rankings significantly. US Open is always the marquee event, even though she has less to defend there than some of the others. Performing well there is key for prestige, sponsorships, and psychological edge. Also, she's likely to enter some other late-season events, e.g. the Asia Swing, Japan Open, Pan Pacific, Hong Kong, which she either didn't play last year or didn't do as well. Those are low-risk or high-reward windows. If she can do better than before, she gains. If she skips, she doesn't lose much. What this means creatively: the pressure, the tapestry, the possibility. Imagine a tightrope stretched over a canyon, with a roaring crowd below. On one side, the summit of success, the glow of grand slams, perhaps even the #1 ranking. On the other side, the wind of points dropping, the echoes of a title defense lost, ranking positions slipping away. Coco Gauff is walking that rope right now. Every tournament is a balancing act. She carries with her more than just a racket. She carries expectation, both her own and everyone else's. She's young enough that every victory still counts weightily. She's proven enough that losses now ripple. Defending points is more than retaining ranking. It's preserving momentum, preserving the narrative she's building about herself as a force in women's tennis. Momentum and identity. Winning Beijing last year gave her confidence and respect. If she repeats, it cements that she's not just peaking once but sustaining. If not, that becomes a talking point. Growth and learning. There have been reports she's working on her serve, technical tweaks, adjusting under pressure. These tournaments are testing grounds for those changes. Sometimes you win even if the tennis isn't perfect. Sometimes you lose but learn something crucial. Legacy and pressure. The more you win, especially big tournaments, the more people expect. Defending a title is tougher than winning it the first time. She has to manage herself, physically, mentally. The calendar's long. Fatigue sets in. Injuries loom. Ranking implications. If she can defend those big chunks, Beijing, Wuhan, WTA finals, she keeps her high ranking, which helps with seedings, draws, rest, tournaments, and earning. If she drops many of them, she might risk falling behind other contenders like Sabalenka, Swiatek, etc. Psychological games. Knowing she has points to defend changes how you approach match play. Do you play with less freedom? More caution? Does that affect style and risk-taking? Sometimes the fear of losing what you have can do more damage than the ambition to gain more. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.